this competition with men, which is bizarre and stupid. You know, I mean, women and men are different. We will never be the same. And so
this video is officially banned now. All right. Now we're in business. How you doing?
Excelente. How art thou?
Hanging out with my bears.
I'm saying, I love that background. It suits you.
I love it. It's awesome. It's Russian, actually.
That's right.
It's a Russian painting. This is the painting that's, you know, those bear candies that I give you?
Uh-huh.
Those little chocolates?
Yeah.
This is the painting that's on it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was just about to say Russian bears, but
yep.
I was like, yeah.
So, well, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So this is like a new thing my friend Desiree and I are going to be doing at the end of the month. We're just going to have little conversations about things, different things. So what are we going to talk about today, Desiree?
So I believe the topic was the crisis in modern dating or something like that.
Yes, the absolute problem of dating in the clown world.
Yes.
So I want to start by having you give us your perspective of what's going on. And let me just tell the people on the interwebs who you are a little bit. Desiree and I have been friends for about 3 years. We do ballet together. We do all kinds of stuff together. And she is a social worker. She's also a Christian. And she lives in Virtue. And she's single at the time. Are we still single? Okay, so I want you to tell me a little bit about your experiences with dating.
Yes, and I have a lot to share because I'm in my 30s. She didn't say that.
I did say that.
But it's been a long journey. But yeah, so I have always wanted to be married. Always wanted to, get married, have kids. That was the goal. I did go to school, did get my master's in social work. Didn't meet anybody in college or anything like that. So as an adult, it's just been out here in circus crazy town.
Yes.
And one of the biggest observations I would say about dating is just the fear of commitment. There's a big, huge fear of commitment amongst men. And I feel like it's almost become a cultural trend to sort of, it used to be like you sow your wild oats and then you settle down.
Right.
And now it's not wild oats. It's just oats. It's just
people want to stay in that wild oats stage.
It's the adolescent stage of, men are going well into their late 40s and 50s.
And longer. So, I think I have told this before privately. I used to know a guy, he has now passed away, but he was like, when I met him, me and my friends, we were in our early 30s, and we all worked at a nightclub, bartending and stuff, and he started hanging out there, and then he ended up like quitting his job and moving in with us and being just like a party animal, and it literally killed him. And he's not an isolated case. Like you see a lot of men like that are just like, I don't want to commit. I don't want to settle down. I'm just going to, be like 21 forever.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah. And to be fair, I mean, there's a lot of women who want to be, adolescents forever, but I don't think it's a majority. I think that most women are working, they're taking on responsibilities, they're preparing to have kids. And I understand like the whole dynamic of feminism, and you and I've talked about this a lot, where men are kind of unsure of how to approach a woman, what their role is going to be. But all of that is solved in communication. It's the fear that you're not even going to try to commit, that when you do talk to a woman, it's all for fun, it's all for games, it's all for temporary. but when it comes time to think about something serious, they run away. And my situation brings that up often because, like I said, I've always wanted to get married. I've never had a whole phase, a wild oats phase, or any of that. I have my fun and I enjoy life. Enjoy what each day brings. I do the things I love to do. I love to dance. I love to act a fool. But even when I go out, downtown or dancing with my girlfriends, it's never a hookup scene for me or really any of my friends. It's always been just having fun, and most likely the guys you meet out there are not going to lead anywhere.
Yeah, well, that's always been kind of like a known thing that if you meet a guy in a club, I don't know anybody personally that met their like husband in a club. Maybe I think one.
Maybe one.
But maybe it's very rare.
But there's very rare. Yeah. I mean, it's very rare. And so that wasn't an expectation. Those outings are solely for fun. But I've done online dating recently, on and off for the past 5 years. And
how did that work out?
You meet some quality guys. Sometimes it's just a matter of compatibility, lack of chemistry, distance. It's not like everybody out there is bad, but guys right in your backyard, guys who have an opportunity to get to know you, to pursue a woman of virtue such as myself, that would make a wonderful wife and mother, that's not out here playing games. They lack that. They just don't.
Would you say that part of that is because with the dating apps, like I think that the dating apps have completely destroyed traditional courtship and romance, because now the guy can like swipe right and then get a girl and get a pizza on the same night, delivered, and basically it takes the motivation away from guys to court a woman, because they can be like, well, if this one doesn't like me, another one will, and so they don't have the motivation to actually pursue a virtuous woman.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that there's too many choices, and the expectation is to get something quick and easy. And I'm far from quick and easy.
I'm sure there are some men out there that's exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah.
But I guess they get caught up in that trap too of one other thing that I've noticed also, like researching this, watching different people's videos, there's whole communities of men that are deciding to not even try to get married and basically to remain single and play video games, because they're seeing that women are being so diabolical. Not women like you, but hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. We're gonna cut this part out. I'll call her. It's my mother-in-law. I'll call her later.
Okay. But yeah, no, I think that is true. I do think that I think men and women are both playing games with each other, and we're all losing.
Yeah.
We're all losing because we're all trying to protect ourselves. We're all trying to be all guarded and trying to predict the next person's steps. And it's just a whole lot of playing games and flaking. And, men that I've been talking to, I've gotten off online dating, by the way. I'm completely off. I'm done with that for right now, because it's like they're becoming predictable, you
start seeing a pattern.
You start seeing a pattern. And once you're predictable, like I've already lost interest in you. Like I know guys who are going to flake. I'm starting to, suddenly the day of the date, you don't hear from them. And it's like, it's no loss to me. I mean, I'm chilling. I'm having a good time here. I don't understand.
Living your best life.
I'm living, yeah. So it's just like, what is the purpose of, I just don't understand the purpose of wasting your own time. I just don't understand. I don't
understand. The way I see it, like if you're in your early 20s, yeah, it's fine to just, date for fun. I mean, I guess that is going to depend of people's like faith and what they believe in. But
yeah,
the way I personally see it, if you're in your 20s, it's fine. You can kind of date around a little bit. But after you are like in the age to start a family, maybe it's time to like get more serious about it and just think about only dating the type of person that you would consider falling in love with and marrying. And
Right.
that's not happening right now, because the one thing that I noticed that a lot of the guys say that, well, why would I get married if, I have seen my father get divorced, and then my mother wouldn't even let him see me, and then he had to pay child support.
Right.
And like, why would I do that? Why am I going to see a family and have a kid if I'm probably not going to be able to see that kid anyway, and then half of my shit's going to get taken away?
Right. And yeah, me and my brother actually had a good conversation about this, because just from a man's perspective, about how, a lot of laws and states make it really pointless for a man to get married. I mean, his financial risks are way up, especially no fault divorces. A woman can just change her mind. And the majority of people that initiate the divorce is the woman.
Yeah, it is. This is facts. This is very
yeah, it is facts. So there is, I understand the lack of desire to get married legally. But I'm really talking about just commitment. That you can't even commit to another person. That's really bad, and I think that most people desire that.
I think so. I mean, I think we are naturally programmed for, forming a pair bond.
Yeah.
And women a little bit more than men, because if you look at it from like an evolutionary perspective, women are the ones that are going to have the babies. So it's in their best interest to, find a good guy that they can bond with,
right,
marry it, so he will take care of them and their offspring, just biologically speaking. And men are more driven to propagate their genes. But I think as a society, we came to a point where we realized, like, hey, that's kind of not working. So, we have monogamous society where men have, at some point, they stepped up and decided, like, okay, yeah, I'm going to raise a family with this one woman in most parts of the world. And now all of a sudden they're kind of like backing away from that, which is very sad.
I think it's because they don't realize the effects that those decisions have on the community and the nation at large. We don't see it as our responsibility to create family, but healthy families create healthy communities.
Well, I just found out recently that we are already at the low replacement birth rate. So replacement rate is that every couple should have 2.5 kids. That way the population can stay stable. We are, I don't know the numbers exactly, but I know we are below that right now. A lot of people are choosing not to have children, and a lot of people are not getting married. So
yeah, and it's this delusion of overpopulation too. The earth is not overpopulated.
No.
There's different view. If you view it the wrong way, then it's going to look like, oh my God, the earth is overpopulated. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Like, have you been to Wyoming? There's plenty of land.
Yeah, I mean, the rates of deaths that people are going to die out. I mean, the earth is not going to be overpopulated in 10, 20 years.
But that lie has been propagated by activists, all around the world. And a lot of people are in that position that they're like, oh, I'm not going to have a child because I don't want to contribute to this problem. And I'm going to admit publicly that I was one of those people, and now I regret it, because it was really stupid. It was just being manipulated by propaganda, thinking that, like, when you're young, you're more impressionable, you believe all these things. Yeah. And sadly, this is what's happening. And also, like, people are basically just wanting to stay in that young adult stage of their life until they're like, 40, 50.
Yeah, and I was surprised online the amount of 45 and up, never married, no kids. And that was within my range of guys I would date. So I mean, the good news is that when they finally change their minds, you might want to date older, a lot older, depending on how old you are.
Like, you mean for girls or for guys?
For girls. I mean, you really have to date. And I mean, a lot of guys are wanting to date older too, because they're finding that women in their 20s are fickle, emotionally unhealthy. Yeah, exactly. But as someone who's pretty consistent, I've just been really like, wow, it's really sad how difficult we have made it
But
Um,
like I would say that women are partly to blame for the situation because of feminism. At some point, women decided like there was some things that feminism did right. Like giving women the right to vote, to have property. This is good, but then they like it was like a good train going to approach the station, but then
right,
wait, it passed the station, it never stopped. And
right.
now they're like, well, we want to complete equality and we want to work, but we still want to have kids, but the government has to pay for our daycare, or we want the kids, but we don't want to take care of them. So it's like,
It became this, Hollywood, Madonna, this sort of hear me roar type of thing.
And then I don't need a man thing too.
Yeah, this competition with men, which is bizarre and stupid. I mean, women and men are different. We will never be the same. And so
this video is officially banned now.
I mean, it's crazy. It wasn't meant to be this competition, and I think a lot of women are beginning to realize that if you're a woman that's coddled your son, you are
that's a big
you are contributing to these young men who want to sleep with me, want to do all this other stuff with me, and when they find out they can't do that, they don't know what to do. I mean,
they're like little boys.
Yeah,
like little boys that are an older man, and they just act like little boys. They want a mommy. They don't want to actually like one mommy. They want to
pleasure. They're pleasure seekers. When you coddle your son, you turn him into a pleasure seeker. He's not someone that's willing to work hard for what he needs. He's not willing to make sacrifices, take risks. Men are designed to die for what they believe in, die for what they love. That's how God made men. So that's why they join the army. That's why they are willing to die for what they believe in, whether that's political, for their faith, or
their family. But
family.
But now the new generation, like they call them the Zoomers, they're not. I don't see them like that. Like little boys are not. Well, I'm sure like we have a little boy that is 14, and we're trying to do our best to raise him to be that type of man. But I see a lot of little boys that are being raised basically act like girls. And a lot of these, I hate to say it, but it's because they're raised by single mothers. And of course, this is not, entirely the single mother's fault, but they don't have a father figure. So they don't know how to be a real man.
Yeah. And to provide and protect, and to have that sense of responsibility. Women's responsibility is kind of biologically built within us, as far as being nurturers, raising children, because we carry a child. We're biologically designed for that.
And even taking care of like our husbands. Right. Like there's a joke that, if you see a guy that is like well dressed, put together, is on time, it's probably because he's married, because his wife makes sure that he, presents his best self to the world. At least that's how it used to be, but now it's like all upside down. Everything's upside down.
But, and there's other conversations. There's it's called The Roommates on YouTube. They interview a lot of guys that promote marriage. I mean, most successful, if not all successful entrepreneurs are married. Very wealthy men are married, and they wouldn't be where they were if they didn't have a spouse, Now,
the sad reverse point of that is that a lot of the very wealthy women that have built a lot of wealth for themselves are not married or don't have kids. And I heard somebody comment on this saying like, well, basically it's because what you did, you invested so much time in creating this wealth that now, like men don't search for wealth in a wife. But with that existing, like you basically became the man, so you don't need to get married.
Yeah.
But it's sad because those women want to get married too. I mean, I think most of them do. But
and if you're like me and you just happen not to meet the right person, what else are you supposed to do? I mean, you have to provide for yourself. You have to, pursue your dreams. And there was plenty of opportunities, but those opportunities didn't turn into anything. So you know, and a lot of it's inner growth and work that you have to do, you know, and I've done those inner work and continue to do that. But you don't have to be this perfect person to get married. Everybody's going to have issues, you
That's
know.
another thing that I noticed is that I think I told you about another video I saw of this lady that used to be a matchmaker. And then she put out this video. I'm gonna try to put her information and put a link. She was like, "Girl, I'm done. You women are crazy. The kind of men that you want does not exist. That's like 10 different men.
Yeah.
You want the guy that is like perfectly good looking, has money, is not socially awkward, it's funny, is loving, and will love me and my kids, and all these things, but like, what do you bring to the table?" So she was like, "Girl, no, I can't with you."
Yeah.
The women were like basically requesting for her to find them an ideal guy that doesn't exist, and she had like all these great guys, you know, that wanted a relationship, and the women were like, "No, oh, he's a little too chubby, or he talks funny, or, you know, stupid things." It's like, do you want to get married or not?
Yeah. And you know, I think that's why it's so important, I think, for women to take their dating off social media, and not just online dating. I'm talking about your expectations. When you're scrolling through Instagram and you're seeing these perfect couples that look look aesthetically pleasing, they have a look that you want. You know, I find myself looking through IG and liking all these things. And when you like things, the IG algorithm will pick that up, and
Shows you more.
it keeps suggesting this. And then I was looking at like what Instagram was suggesting for me, and I was like, wow, I need to stop. Like, I'm going to create this fantasy world for myself that might not be what's my destiny. And I could miss out on so much trying to get someone else's reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
and that reality is not even the reality, because we all know as content creators that what you see on Instagram is not how real life works. Like, you know, we take our ballet pictures and put them on Instagram, and we'll take 50 pictures and choose the
yeah.
best one, and then we'll make it
Yeah,
even better.
exactly. Like, it's not like one take and it was that perfect, you know?
Like, it's done for a reason, to be
Yeah.
aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
But some people actually like fall to the delusion that, oh, this is exactly how their life is all the time. Look at this perfect couple, and this is what I would take, nothing less than that.
And yeah, you know, there are good looking couples out there, but most people, the average couple is just average people, you know. And if you ever see a good looking man with a not so good looking woman, or vice versa, that's a sign that there's more important things in this world than how someone looks, you know. Um, and I bet you those people are happy. You know what I'm saying? You just, I understand what the matchmaker is saying, where you're creating this delusion that's probably mostly physical preferences,
Yeah,
you know.
and
Character, yeah.
the thing is, like, the guys that are like the perfect guy that is super good looking, especially in this environment, you know, he can get whoever he wants, huh?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I even asked some guys, you know, what are you, you're a good looking, intelligent man, why are you so single? You know what they say? Because they want to be. And that's exactly what I'm saying. If you see a good looking man online, he's single because he wants to be, honey. He's not trying to hook up with you.
Or he's just trying to hook up with you, but that's it.
That's it. He's not gonna marry you. No, it's just, I mean, come on. Really?
He's probably going to be, well, maybe he's going to be 40 something, and then he's going to start thinking about it. Maybe, I don't know. It's also crazy right now. Like, I feel like the whole idea of traditional family is kind of trying to be dismantled. But that family unit is what has brought us to become an advanced society, you know?
Yeah.
Have you seen any of these videos of like people that are like polyamory, and it'll be like a girl and 3 guys? They're hilarious. Yeah, there's one out there. It's like, they're not a couple, they are a quad or something like that. So it's this like feminist chick, and she's got these 3 like super beta guys in there, you know, pretending that they're all happy, but all the guys are like, yeah, I'm just so miserable. And that type of lifestyle is being shown as like as normal.
It's childish. I mean, it's you know, feminism has become childish. It's like we're gonna do everything that men did to us back 300 years ago, we're gonna do today. Like,
Girl,
get over yourself.
It's not gonna work. You know. Like, in a way, I feel bad for the men because they're in a situation that they're like, oh, you know, if I'm a man, I already like screwed up because I'm a man. So they're kind of becoming very insecure, even like you said earlier, to ask women out on a date because they're like, oh, I don't know if this woman is going to threaten me with sexual harassment.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like, I have read some stuff that in a lot of companies, corporation type environments, women and men are not even like traveling to conferences together anymore. The guys won't go to lunch with the women that work there because they don't want to get in any trouble. They don't want to get their career destroyed.
Yeah.
So feminism kind of like, totally derailed. And
that's politics in general. I mean, anything that's politicized is going to turn into something that makes no sense, that divides more than brings together, because that's what politics is designed to do, to divide, not unify. So when you hear politicians talking about unifying, they're lying. They don't want to unify nothing unless you're voting for them.
Yeah, no, they want us all dead.
Yeah.
I really do think that one side of the political spectrum really wants the other side just gone. Like, they don't want to talk to us. They don't want to debate us. They don't want to hear us out. They're just like, shut up.
Yeah. I mean, it's all like, you have to drink the Kool-Aid or you're not welcomed, you know, and it's good because I hope it helps people realize that no matter who's in power, humans are humans. And we have this fallacy that we lean towards, you know, that we give into those more primal impulses of, you know, kill or be killed, or it's hard for us to truly live in harmony. We talk about it, we sing about it, we got poetry about it.
Every society is like that.
Yeah, it's not easy to achieve that, you know.
I think the reality is that people are always going to have that drive to, like I said, conquer. And some people are going to win and some people are going to lose. And what really worries me is like this trait is kind of being bred out of society. You know, there's an emphasis of making the boys more sensible and more soft and the girls more powerful. So it's kind of like, to me, it feels unnatural because if we actually get into like a kinetic war, these men are not going to be able to take care of those girls. So what's going to happen? You know, like, then we're going to get conquered by China, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense. And one thing that I can say to close is that, like, there's got to be, without some sort of spiritualism in people, regardless of what religion it is, if people are not answering to something greater than their own humanism and their own human desires, it's an endless amount of crazy, you know. It doesn't have to make logical sense, you know, but I do think that when society's controlled by religion, because that's not good either. It's just another tool of power. I mean, I'm telling you, humans are crazy.
I think what you're trying to say is that, like, if men, not just men, but men and women, live only to satisfy their own basal needs and urges without contributing something meaningful to the community at large, then, you know, they're just dead weight.
Yeah, it's got to be a deeper cause. You have to see beyond just your own. I want to play video games. I want to have sex. I want to this. I want to that. I mean,
and that's why family is important. It's not only because, you know, it feels nice to have a family, but it's because you are contributing to the human race actually existing.
Yeah.
Continuing on. And a lot of people don't want to take their responsibility, and
they don't.
Really sad.
They don't.
So what do you think? Well, first, let me ask you this. What do you think can be done to change the situation? Like, what can women do?
Um,
it's better for themselves.
pray. But
Get off
seriously.
social media.
Get out. Yeah, I think stepping off of social media and getting involved in your community. This is both for men and women, but one of the biggest things women can do is keep your legs closed. You're not helping your sisters by being easy bait, easy meat. You know how they
Yes.
say women have all the power because we control the cookie. Not if there's just three of us in the whole freaking country controlling the cookie and everybody else giving it up. We've given up our power. The sexual revolution.
Thanks, Cardi B.
Yeah, the sexual revolution and all this stuff that's resulted from it. Women have sacrificed their power. The little power that we did have, we gave it up.
Because, it's like the story of the key and the lock. You heard of that, right?
Lock and key. Yes, I did.
Yeah. So.
That's stupid. But yeah, honey.
It's stupid, but it's actually like true. I'm sorry, women, we cannot be hosts. It's not going to work for us. Like,
it doesn't. It doesn't, especially when the majority of, it just doesn't work. And
the guys are just like, oh yeah, you all want to be all liberated? All right.
Yeah. And when that doesn't make you happy, we beat up on ourselves, but that's because you're not designed to be a hoe and be happy. Hoe and happy don't come.
I'm just saying, like, women should be happy that, well, I guess now it's not at that point anymore, but at some point, most men were willing to be monogamous and have a family with one woman, and we kind of screwed that up. Well, not you and I. Womankind.
I'm not screwing it up at all. But yeah, no, I mean, it's yeah. But I also think that for the men's side, we talk about men as if they need women to behave in order for them to behave, and that's the feminist in me that I disagree with.
Explain.
That men are like women. If you have a high body count, that makes you less of a compatible partner. But the man can have any kind of body count he wants. That sort of double standard, that is also contributing to this issues that we've been talking about. A man's body count is just as important as a woman. A man could be a hoe just like a woman could be a hoe. I'm not looking for what they call F-boys or male, what do they call them? Basically like male hoes. I don't want that either. And it doesn't matter what a woman is presenting to you. That your seed is precious. I don't know why you want to be spreading it around to all these women. Then you have these crazy females being your baby mamas. That's on you. Like, men have a brain. You are more than just your penis. Come on, that sort of mentality where we kind of give men a pass because men will be men, that sort of stuff.
Also, no, I agree. I think men should like step it up and kind of think about their virtue as well. Like, do you really want to risk their getting legacy? Some crazy chick pregnant and then having maybe not the babies that you should have had? Yeah. And that you're probably never going to see anyways, because she's probably going to take off your money. So I think that's very good point, Desiree. Like, this pass that the society usually gives men to, like, oh yeah, guys should do whatever they want. That's probably part of the problem too. Like, maybe we all should go back to not being so savage.
Yeah, well, and this is like another concept that I've heard, I think Jordan Peterson talking about, or maybe it was Ben Shapiro. I think it was Ben Shapiro.
Was he talking at a normal speed or really fast? Because if it was really fast, then it was Ben Shapiro.
That was so funny. But yeah, he was talking about how a society that's based on survival is a society that gets back to practicality and logic and sense. And that we are such a leisure society. We have nothing else to do but come up with stupid stuff, like 80 different definitions of gender. And, it's just, this is what a leisure society, when we're bored,
we have too much time, too much abundance, and then not enough predators. We don't have any predators, so.
Comfort. We start making up stuff. I mean, making up categories of victimization, making up issues and problems. Not that there's not issues in society that need to be solved, but it's never solved through politicizing issues.
Definitely not solved through like crying about stupid things like, oh, I got misgendered. I don't know what bathroom to use today. Like,
Yeah.
this whole idea of people like saying, I don't know what gender I am. Come on, you're either a man or a woman. You might like it or not, but it's just.
Yeah, just look down and figure out, or your birth certificate if you've messed up what's down there. I mean, you can figure things out. There's something called gender dysphoria. It is a mental illness.
It is mental illness, and even like base transgender people like Blair White. I don't know if you know her or not, but she's a YouTuber and she's a very right-leaning transgender woman. And she will say it like, yeah, what I have is a mental disorder. And it's not like, she says it all the time, like, I know I'm not a woman. I'm a trans woman, but I'm not a woman. I will never be because I was born a man. And that's the end of it.
Yeah.
And at some point, we just kind of like, now we're too busy discussing.
Yeah, no, I mean, lots of respect for someone that can admit, you know.
Yeah, and a lot of the older people that really have gender dysphoria and transition, they're like, yeah, I know I didn't become the opposite gender. I just did this because I have a disorder and I'm okay with it. But now it's like being put out in the world like, oh yeah, you can be any gender, you can be three gender, Luna gender.
Yeah. Like, trying to deter, they're trying to interfere with the fabric of society. That's really what those, like, politicizing is just to tear at the culture, trying to disrupt what is considered normal, what has worked for 4,000, 8,000, a million years.
I think every time there is like an emphasis on like sexual things, depravities and kinks, stuff like that, that's usually a sign of decline of a civilization. Like we saw that in Rome as well.
Yeah.
Think of absolutely. Like Caligula.
Yeah.
So that's definitely, well, I didn't want this to be super black pill, but yeah, it's I think it's just a matter of people waking up and seeing this.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think having real conversations like this and just thinking outside of your own agenda, but actually just being real about, what is best for society as a whole, long after you're gone, and what you want and what you need to see in the mirror, what's best.
What's your legacy going to be?
Yeah.
And it can be many things, but just you trying to just please yourself all the time and do whatever brings you immediate pleasure, that's not a legacy. Children are a legacy, creation is a legacy, but we just basically have to kind of all get out of our own heads and think, like you said, like what's ask not what society will do for you, ask what you can do for the society.
Yes, perfect.
Who said that? Well, it was country, but who said that? I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, it was John F. Kennedy, but
yeah, there you go. But I think that's true, and nobody's kind of doing that anymore. I mean, look at the gymnasts in the Olympics right now. They're like, we're doing this for us. We're not doing this for you. Have you seen any of that? Like there was this gymnast, Simone Bell, I think is her name. I don't know, Simone something. That she said she quit. She like didn't do the events that she was supposed to do because she was having mental health issues. But then she was saying like, well, I'm doing this gymnastics for me. I went to the Olympics for me. I don't owe you a gold medal. It's like, no, you do. The American people sent you to this Olympics to represent them. You
people are nuts.
So now like people are celebrating her for quitting, and now like I've gotten on the news today, and like 2 or 3 other athletes are also quit.
Yeah.
So the Olympics is just gonna be like, let's celebrate people that quit, fuck the people that win.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. That mentality is, I think, is not gonna get us anywhere. And going back just to close, because I know you have to go, right? You said you have to go into the gym. I'm just gonna ask you to put out like a message, like what would you tell men that are out there looking for a woman for a serious relationship?
Like me. No. Yeah, I would say that just to reevaluate, do some soul searching and make sure you know what it is that you desire, and be honest with yourself about it. There's a difference between deal breakers and preferences. And once you kind of figure all that out and you know that you're looking for something serious, take the risks. There's going to, be rejection. There's going to be disappointments, but there are women who want something serious. There are women who are emotionally mature. I would get out in the community, just like women need to get out, volunteer, go in the community and do things. Men need to do the same thing. You're going to meet real women face to face, not hiding behind social media. That's probably the best place to meet somebody.
In your community, yeah. That way,
community.
Also that they live nearby.
And doing what you love doing, art, gym. I'll be there in a sec.
I'm not going to tell you guys where she's going.
Yeah. Max Fitness.
Oh, she said it. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that that's a good way to meet real people, but befriend someone, and not get caught up in the culture of objectifying women and really hurting yourself. Women are designed to guard virtue. Men are designed to guard legacy because they carry the legacy within their loins. Don't get
excellent point.
So bam.
An excellent point. Women are designed to guard virtue. Men are designed to guard legacy.
The legacy.
I love that. I'm gonna write that down. Now, you mentioned deal breakers. Tell me what your 3, like absolutely cannot have this in a guy that you would consider for a serious relationship.
Deal breakers. They have to be Christian. What else? Non-smokers. I like they got to be non-smokers. And they have to, there's certain core qualities that they have to have. I need a man that treats other people well, that has kindness. So like when I'm going out on a date with a guy, I'm not just saying how he's treating me. I like to see how he treats other people. Like, do you show respect and kindness to your servers? These are just like those core qualities are like kindness.
No smoky of any kind.
What now?
No smoky of any kind.
No,
right?
no smoky. Yeah, no, please. None of it. Please. Drinking's okay because we do that. Yeah. As long as it's not, yeah, no. As long as it's not every day, that it's not a socially drinking or occasionally, that's really what I do. And yeah, just someone with a similar faith that we can build a life together. And you just you gotta like, it's okay if our fun is different, but like being free spirited or fun spirited, even if that's different. Yeah, we don't have to have the same hobbies, but there's something that we should do together. But I just like someone that likes to enjoy life and
spontaneity.
Yeah, outside of the house. Yeah.
That's.
Yeah,
I
don't know if that's like a deal breaker, but it's important. It's up there. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, like things like that, they change because like before I met my husband, I was always like, I want to go to a club, I want to go to all things, and then after, he's more like introverted and likes to just kind of chill at home. And at first, I was like, but we have to go to this thing. And then I was like, you know what? I actually just enjoy spending time with you. So that's something that I think changes. So
yeah, and I do like the company of a man we don't have to be talking. I just like being in his company. So it's a good balance of both. Yeah.
Well, I think that's pretty good. I think we brought up a lot of really good points. Do you have anything else to add?
I do want to say that I do think there's hope. I think that as we keep talking about these things, I think that it's going to click.
I think a lot of people are realizing.
Yeah, we're hoping that evolutionary thing will click, and we're like, oh yeah, we kind of need to stop.
We can't destroy everything. I actually heard that like the younger generation is becoming more conservative and less promiscuous.
Yeah,
they're like, we have to say this.
I think it's gonna click. I really do.
I hope you're right. I hope that this is not the beginning of the end.
Right.
And I think people just it's good to, like you said, it's good to have these conversations and just put these things out there so more and more people can see that not everything's lost.
It's not, and there is hope.
There's always hope. That's once there's no hope, it's over. But
yeah, hope.
We are here bringing you some hope.
Yeah.
All right, I will let you go to the gym, and then I'll do a quick closing, and I will put this out as soon as I can. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys. We'll see Desiree again next month.
Yeah.
Bye, girl. I love you.
Love you too. Bye.
So that was my first end of month conversation with my friend Desiree. I hope to do this the end of every month, just because I love her. She's a great person, and we have great conversations all the time that I think that a lot of other people benefit from. And we are always discussing important issues like what we talked about today, the whole dating problem in today's world. And I haven't decided yet what the topic is going to be for the next one, but I would love to hear some input. But it will definitely be something else that is truly affecting the world and society at large. I hope you guys enjoy this, and please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with anyone you want. Bye.